head-to-head across 5 categories that actually matter when you're booking a trip: history, food, cost, sites, and vibe. I'll score each round. The result might genuinely surprise you. Let's go. Round 1, history. And this is the round I expected Rome to run away with. It did not. Rome was the center of the Western world for nearly 1,000 years. Walk 10 minutes in any direction, and you will stumble onto something built before the year 100 AD. The Pantheon, the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, and then layered right on top of all of it, the Vatican, an entire sovereign city-state dedicated to 2,000 years of Christian art and architecture, the Sistine Chapel ceiling, St. Peter's Basilica, the Castel Sant'Angelo. Rome does not just have history, Rome is history. Every piazza, every cobblestone street, every crumbling wall has a story attached to it that stretches back further than most countries have existed. On paper, Rome should dominate this round. Then you go to Istanbul. Istanbul was the capital of not one, but 2 of the world's greatest empires, first the Byzantine, then the Ottoman. For over 1,500 years, this city was the hinge between East and West, between Christianity and Islam, between Europe and Asia. Let that sink in. Not one empire, 2. The Hagia Sophia alone has been a cathedral, a mosque, a museum, and a mosque again. That single building contains more layered history than most countries. And here's the difference that stops you cold. Rome's history is preserved. Istanbul's history is still happening. The call to prayer over the Bosphorus, the Grand Bazaar still running on the same corridors Ottoman merchants walked 5 centuries ago. Ferries crossing between continents twice a day, carrying people who just need to get to work. Rome is a museum. Istanbul is alive. So if you want the foundations of Western civilization, Rome is unmatched. The Pantheon, the Colosseum, the Forum, the Vatican, Rome nearly takes this round on pedigree alone. If you want the place where every major civilization collided, Istanbul stands alone. Neither city loses this round. The score stays level, but round 2 opens the gap. Score: Rome 0, Istanbul 0. Round 2, food, and this is where the 2 cities start to pull apart. Roman food is simple, confident, and almost aggressively good. Cacio e pepe, carbonara, supplì, pizza al taglio eaten standing up at a counter. Espresso you drink in 30 seconds and move on with your day. Rome does not need to impress you with complexity. Every dish has 4 ingredients and has been perfected over centuries. That is the Roman way, and it works. Istanbul will absolutely overwhelm you. Yeah, and that is a compliment. Turkish breakfast alone deserves a dedicated video, a full table of cheeses, olives, eggs, honey, clotted cream, tomatoes, cucumbers, fresh bread, and tea. That is breakfast. Before you have done anything, then there is the street food: simit, sesame-crusted bread rings sold on every corner. Balık ekmek, a grilled fish sandwich eaten on the Galata Bridge with the Bosphorus in front of you. Lahmacun, kofta, midye dolma, fresh pomegranate juice squeezed to order, and the sweets. Baklava in Istanbul is not what you have had anywhere else. Made fresh, flaky, drenched in pistachio, and it costs almost nothing. Rome is a masterclass in restraint. Istanbul is a celebration of abundance. Food verdict: for sheer variety, street food culture, and the experience of eating as an event rather than a transaction, Istanbul takes this round. Score: Rome 0, Istanbul 1. Istanbul leads 1-0, and round 3 is where Rome starts to look genuinely embarrassing. But first, if you have made it this far and you are enjoying this, subscribe. We do this every week. Round 3. Round 3, cost. And this one is not close. Rome is expensive, not just expensive. It is tourist trap expensive. A sit-down meal near any major attraction will run you 15 to 20 euros for a plate of pasta that is not even particularly good. A coffee near the Colosseum, 4 euros, standing at a counter. Water at restaurants is charged separately. Hotels in the city center start at 150 euros a night for anything remotely decent. Budget travelers need roughly $100 per day for a basic but comfortable experience. Mid-range sits at 200 or more, and at every major site, you will wait in queues, pay premium prices, and be surrounded by thousands of other people doing exactly the same thing. Istanbul is a completely different conversation. The Turkish lira has made Istanbul one of the best value cities in Europe or the Middle East for foreign visitors. These numbers will shift as exchange rates move check before you travel, but the gap with Rome has been significant for years and is unlikely to close overnight. A full meal at a local restaurant, not a tourist trap. A place where actual Istanbul residents eat costs the equivalent of $5 to $8. Street food is practically free. A Bosphorus ferry ride, one of the best views in the world, costs less than $1. Even mid-range hotels in central neighborhoods like Beyoğlu or Sultanahmet are significantly cheaper than their Roman equivalents. Budget travelers can have a genuinely rich experience on $50 to $60 per day. Mid-range at $100 to $130 feels luxurious. Cost verdict, Istanbul wins clearly. For the same budget, you get a more comfortable experience than Rome. If you are traveling on any kind of budget, Istanbul makes Rome look like it is trying to empty your wallet on purpose. Score: Rome 0, Istanbul 2, Istanbul 2, Rome 0. Rome needs to win the next 2 rounds just to force a draw. And in round 4, against all odds, it does exactly what it needs to do. Round 4, sites, Rome's last chance to stay in this. Rome's bucket list is almost intimidatingly long. The Colosseum, where gladiators fought 2,000 years ago, the Vatican museums, and the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo's ceiling, still manages to stop people in their tracks after 500 years. The Trevi Fountain, the Spanish Steps, the Pantheon, which has been standing continuously since 125 AD and still has the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome. And those are just the things everyone knows about. Rome rewards slow walking. Turn down a random street and find a 1,000-year-old church. Stumble onto a piazza with a Bernini fountain. Every neighborhood has something. The concentration of world-famous landmarks per square kilometer is almost unmatched anywhere on Earth. Istanbul's landmark list is genuinely impressive on its own terms. The Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, the Topkapi Palace, where Ottoman sultans ruled an empire stretching from Vienna to Baghdad, the Grand Bazaar in 4,000 shops, 61 streets, and the oldest covered market in the world, the Spice Bazaar, Galata Tower with panoramic views of the entire city. Istanbul also gives you something no European city can offer: geography. A 20-minute ferry puts you in Asia. The Prince's Islands are an hour by boat. You can watch cargo ships pass between continents from a rooftop with a glass of tea. But Istanbul rewards time. Its best discoveries are spread across many neighborhoods over many days. Rome packs more into a tighter radius. If you have 4 days, Rome might actually deliver more per hour. Sites verdict: Rome takes this round on sheer concentration, more globally iconic landmarks within walking distance of each other than almost anywhere on Earth. Istanbul is the better city for a longer trip, but on the pure sites per day metric, Rome wins. Score: Rome 1, Istanbul 2. Rome pulls one back, 2-1, 1 round left, and it is the round that determines how you will actually feel when you are standing in whichever city you choose. The sights get you there. The vibe makes you stay. Round 5, vibe. The hardest category to quantify and the one that decides everything. Rome at night is genuinely romantic in a way that is hard to overstate. Trastevere glows. The piazzas fill up. People sit outside until midnight eating pasta and drinking wine. And the whole city has this sense of timelessness, like it has seen everything and is in no hurry whatsoever. There is a particular magic to walking across the Ponte Sisto at dusk with the Tiber below you and Rome lit up in every direction. No photograph captures it. You just have to be there. The downside: Rome in peak season is relentlessly crowded. The tourist to local ratio around major sites can feel crushing. And there is a version of the Rome experience where the city's beauty is constantly fighting the city's chaos. Istanbul has a different energy entirely. It is a city of 15 million people that functions as a real working metropolis, not a museum. Locals vastly outnumber tourists. Neighborhoods like Kadıköy and Beşiktaş have almost no tourist infrastructure at all, just tea houses, bakeries, barbers, and people living their lives. There is something electric about Istanbul. It is noisy and dense, and occasionally overwhelming, but it is alive in a way that very few cities in the world can match. And sitting in a tea garden overlooking the Bosphorus at sunset, with the call to prayer drifting from a nearby mosque, that is an experience that is genuinely hard to find anywhere else on Earth. On safety, the tourist areas are well policed and extremely used to visitors. Same common sense you would use in any major city. For travelers who want to feel like they have discovered something rather than check something off a list, Istanbul is the clear winner. Vibe verdict: Istanbul edges this round for authenticity and the sense of discovery. Rome offers romance. Istanbul offers revelation. Score: Rome 1, Istanbul 3. Final score: Istanbul 3, Rome 1. And I want to be clear about what that actually means, because Rome did not lose because it is a bad destination. Rome lost because Istanbul is that good. If you have never been to either city and you are doing your first big European trip, Rome makes complete sense. The Vatican, the Colosseum, the food, the evenings in Trastevere, Rome delivers on every single promise it makes. Go. You will not regret it. But if you have already done the European circuit, or if you are chasing the feeling of somewhere that genuinely surprises you, Istanbul is not a compromise. It is an upgrade. Better value, richer history, more interesting food, and an energy that almost no city in the world can match. Rome is where you go to confirm what you already know about the world. Istanbul is where you go to have those assumptions completely rearranged. Rome for the romance, Istanbul for the revelation. Which city are you picking? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.